New York has by far this country's highest death toll from the coronavirus. More than 5,600 of those dead were in nursing homes. Probably a number of reasons for that, but one of them was government policy, the policy of Andrew Cuomo, which required those nursing homes to admit patients who had tested positive for the virus. It was insane. Governor Cuomo hasn't been asked much about it. He did appear on CNN yesterday. The interview probably went as you would imagine, given that the interviewer was his brother.
Is it true that this was the swab that the nurse was actually using on you, and that at first it went into your nose and disappeared, so that in scale, this was the actual swab that was being used to fit up that double barrel shotgun that you have mounted on the front of your pretty face?
Yeah, pretty amusing. A little more political theater for you. In fact, about 5,000 people died. This policy was at the center of that. This is an actual scandal, and you should know more about it. Fox senior meteorologist Janice Dean unfortunately knows an awful lot about it. Both of her in-laws, both of her husband's parents, died recently of the coronavirus while in New York nursing homes. Janice Dean joins us tonight. Janice, thanks so much for coming on. You and I have talked a lot about this off camera. You were very hesitant to come on, but this seems like a really important story, a national story, and you have firsthand experience of it. So tell us, if you would, and you can, what happened.
So my husband's parents were in assisted living. His mom was in an assisted living facility. His dad was in a nursing home. And the plan was to have them both together. So Dee, his mom, was in assisted living, a double room. We were planning to have Mickey live with her. Mickey had dementia, and he had a few problems that he needed rehab. So he was in a nursing/rehab center. And the plan was to have them together. And Sean really wrestled with putting them in nursing homes and assisted living. Yeah. So this was a decision that, took place 6 to 8 months ago, very recently, after struggling for months, wondering if this was the right move. And as you've told your audience, we no longer have them here today.
And I mean, that's got to be the hardest decision that middle-aged people ever make, most of them, how to help and get care for aging parents who can't care for themselves. So this makes it all the more devastating. I just have to ask you, how is your husband holding up after this?
It's day by day, Tucker. We weren't able to have a funeral for them or celebrate their life properly. That was very difficult in the normal way that normal people would mourn. We didn't have that. He and his sister are recently cleaning out their apartment that they grew up in, that his parents lived in for over 60 years. They were married for 59 years. They'd never been apart. His dad was a New York City firefighter and was in the U.S. Air Force. And these people are real people. They're not just numbers on a curve.
No, they're not. And you believe, having covered it, that the policy decision, the governor's decision to allow or to prevent the exclusion of infected patients from assisted living and nursing homes contributed to this.
I do. And that's one of the reasons why I'm speaking out, Tucker, is because I have not seen the coverage of this. You've covered it. Martha's covered it. The New York Post has covered it. This should be one of the biggest stories of this pandemic of 2020. 20% of our lost loved ones are from nursing homes. And it's because Governor Cuomo and several other governors, by the way, in different states, forced COVID recovering patients into nursing homes. And I am certain at least one of his parents, I believe his dad, before his dad died, a week before his dad died, they called Sean to tell him they were moving him to another floor. And I believe that floor was used for recovering COVID patients. I can't prove that. We can't get any confirmation on any of this. And by the way, he didn't find out until the death certificate came in that he was COVID. He got a call on a Saturday morning that his dad was not feeling well, and 3 hours later, he was dead. And his mom, 2 weeks later, got COVID, was rushed to the hospital, died in the hospital, and her number will not be counted as a nursing home or an assisted living home because of the governor's policy of saying that she died in the hospital, even though it was confirmed COVID.
So, I mean, that's clearly an effort to reduce the total
Yes.
of recorded deaths in nursing homes, a way to cover himself.
Absolutely. And the fact that I am seeing last night him on another channel making fun, inappropriate jokes, insensitive jokes, cruel jokes. Make no mistake, I'm really glad that Chris Cuomo has recovered from COVID because
Right.
he apparently did have it. And I'm
Yeah.
glad that their family is well, but my family is not well. And that's
No.
not something to joke about.
No, it's not. And I should just say, and I know that our viewers who know this, but you are not a political person, not someone who makes political statements ever in private or in public. And for you to come on to discuss this, it took a lot, and we're grateful that you did. Janice Dean, thank you.
Thank